Hello, lads. Here we are again on another fucking video. I have a special one today. I just remembered a student of mine asked me this, obviously on the New Year's. Then because I don't give a shit, I'm just gonna make a video on this now on the 18th of February because why the fuck not? Basically, is the New Year's resolutions and everything related to that. Even the typical, I'm gonna start on Monday. Why is this relevant? How does this affect you? And does this affect the relationship that you have with your prospects? Because there's also a lot of, vibrational, spiritual shit that tells you that if you're not a certain type, you're gonna attract those types of people. So we're gonna discuss this briefly, but I'm gonna discuss this. I would like to start the fucking video by just telling you if this is the first time you're seeing me. Well, first of all, I'm not usually this sick, so that's one. The second one is that I'm someone who's worth listening to because I went from homeless to making $50,000 a month. I went from living in a small dungeon in a third world country without power light to being in Dubai. So I think my advice is actually worth it. All right. So now the thing is this: the secret to poverty, the secret to not being successful can be summarized with two words. Just two. And those are start tomorrow. So obviously that explains what I'm saying about the New Year's resolution and I'll start on Monday. But let's go a little bit deeper on that. Let's see how this affects sales and whatever the fuck I just came up with saying once I'm talking. So why people do this? Why would you do this? And why your prospects do this? Well, the psychology behind this is that it gives you a permission, which is justifiable, to delay. So technically, you have the chance to, I'm gonna wait a week, a month, or whatever the fuck, because I'm gonna start on the 1st of January, I'm gonna start on the Monday, or whatever the shit it is. Now, obviously, you can admit that this is something applicable through everything, even going to the gym. It just gives a justifiable reason to not do the stuff. The more you play on this logic, the more of a fucking loser you're gonna be. So just understand it and realize it, that this is bullshit. So if you have this mastered, that's great. If you don't, wake the fuck up. But let's say you're with a prospect and he tells you this. You obviously are not gonna say it like I'm saying, just saying fuck every 3 seconds. But you have to make him realize that he's just, bullshitting himself. And the easiest way that I have found, because I got a lot of prospects like this, is just telling them, what will be the difference between you starting now and a month or a week from now? Realistically. And you just go down that path. Whatever they give you, you just keep expanding on that. You don't berate them by telling them, oh, you're a fucking loser and you're just procrastinating. It's like, first understand their point. Why are they saying that? And slowly make them see how they're just looking for permission to delay stuff. And if you can explain it that way, they will understand it and they will tell you, yeah, you're fucking right. That is the easiest way I have ever found. All right. I recommend you to try that. And I'm not giving you a script or something to say per se, because it doesn't work that way. You just genuinely ask, why would you seek this permission to delay it? How does that help you? You don't want to do this? No, I do want to do this. Okay. So why would you want to wait? Let's say you're thirsty. Why not just drink fucking water? Why? So that's it. And unless they give you a valid reason, you can just dismantle that objection. Very easy. Now, the second thing is on why New Year's resolutions are gay as fuck is that it's just fucking weak, man. It's just gay. It's weakness. Waiting for a specific date is weakness. I'm saying this to you, not for a prospect. You're not going to say this to a prospect. This is for you. If you have this tendency about doing this, it's just weak. And weak people don't win. You probably know it. Weak people don't win. Yeah? I read this the other day and I think it's important and I like it, is that you're basically putting yourself on a mask about who you want to be. So let's say you want to start on Monday or on a New Year's or whatever, right? You're basically putting yourself a mask that says, I'm the type of person who does this on this day because it's correct. When the correct thing is actually to not use any masks, just be yourself and doing the stuff that you want to do. Because I'm pretty sure that if you are thinking about going to sales or doubling down or working more or doing an outreach or investing into yourself or whatever the fuck, there must be a reason. And you probably want that reason, whether it's money, status, whatever. So my point is, don't do it with a mask. Do it with yourself. Way more important. Next point. Linking heavily this to prospects, which is the thing that I said at the beginning of the video, that does this really attract people like that? For some reason, today, in the sales era, everyone is wanking off to the spiritual side. Not sure why. I mean, probably because a couple big influencers are really serious wankers to vibrations in the universe and manifestation, right? Which is fine if you like it. But how accurate is it? Well, I can tell you this. I am someone who really doesn't procrastinate. Now, I could be busy with other stuff. I could be bad at prioritizing, but I never procrastinate. I'm always working. However, I do get procrastinators. And let's say you're like me, you're gonna get procrastinators too. Or let's say you're a procrastinator motherfucker. You're gonna get people who are not. It's the roll of the fucking dice. You're not gonna attract the prospect like that. Genuinely, it does not work that way. Okay? So that's one. Please understand that. Now, the important thing is that even though you're not gonna fucking attract them, it does showcase who you are. So for example, when you're listening to me, if I genuinely didn't have skills or confidence or anything in what I am saying, I will be speaking in a way different way, and the way that you will be listening to me will be completely different. You're paying attention to me right now, and that is because of the way that I am speaking. There's a lot of authority in the way that I speak. However, if I was a complete wank off, you'll probably be just not even listening to this. Now, of course, because everyone is wanking off to Instagram, you might be looking at your phone. But the point still stands, which is how you carry yourself is how people see you. And if you're someone who's really a big procrastinator, someone who lives on New Year's resolutions, someone who lives on shit like that, well, the reality is that you, when you're trying to convince or persuade or help someone overcome that, you won't fucking know how to do it because you're a fucking loser. And that makes a lot of sense. So the point is, don't be a fucking loser, dude. Be the man that is so successful that when people talk to you on a closing call, they just want to be fucking you. They want to be you, literally. So many times, and this is how you know it. As soon as I finish the call, I close someone into the program, they always ask me, Luca, can I be coached by you? Or Luca, are you the coach? Because of how real I am, or because of who I am. And you can get to the same fucking thing. If this doesn't happen often with you, at least 6 out of 10 times, you need to work more on yourself. It's very basic and it's very important. And it's probably the biggest needle mover that you might do in order to become a great closer. So, big lesson in there. Hopefully you got that. And you're not looking at some booty on Instagram. Next point. Actually, adding one more thing there. If you cannot close yourself, you're not going to close other people. All right? So, now the next point. Intentions don't make it into history. Results do. Outcomes do. Now, I'm a big believer, and I teach this to my students, that you should never be solely focused on the outcomes. You should be focused on the inputs that you do, so that you can get the outcome. However, just your intentions don't fucking matter. I can have all the intention in the planet about helping you become successful. But unless I make this video, you're not going to be fucking successful. Just as you might have every intention of becoming successful. But if you're not listening to this and applying the basic knowledge that I am giving you, you won't be successful. So the intentions are meaningless. They don't make it a history. It's the outcomes that do. And how can you get to the outcomes? By the fucking inputs. Yes? So do the work, do the studying, do the right things. Just the intention of, I'm gonna start one day on this. I'm gonna, in the 1st of January, or in the 19th of February, or whenever the fuck you're watching this video, to be fair, because this is not gonna be on the 18th of February. It's not, don't wait till fucking Monday, just do it now. You wanna have a better body? Do some fucking pushes on the ground, now. You don't have to wait. Anyways, my point is, a message to you and to your prospects that you can literally say to them, if you need a special date to start, to change in your life for the best, you're not cut out to have it. So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this interesting video. If you also enjoy videos like this, where even though I make it about sales, I still talk a little bit more about life on it, and you enjoy this type of stuff, drop me a fucking like. Put it in the fucking comment. It's the easiest way for me to know you enjoy this type of content and it helps you. If it does, just let me know and I'll make more. If not, I won't make more. And you're not gonna get fucking help. So, yeah. Anyways, enjoy the video, and as always, happy hunting.